Hello, we are live. Finally on the right page. Technical difficulties. I think it's just a me problem, actually. So thanks for tuning in. I'm going to talk about today about empowering your life, staying positive, even in trying times. So we are going through a lot of stuff right now in the universe. So I think it's really important for us to stay positive, upbeat, lift each other up. So before we jump in, I'll introduce myself for those of you that don't know me. My name is Crystal. I'm an intuitive Reiki master. I'm a psychic medium. I connect with your spirit guides, loved ones, even your past pets, to deliver messages to you that help you heal and grow and better yourself, if you will. So my sessions are authentic, they are supportive, they're coaching based, often highlighting what you already know at a soul level. So a session with me is designed to gently guide you through your journey, providing realistic actions that you can take to better yourself and help your growth, as opposed to predicting what's going to happen if you don't do anything to change or put in any effort to better yourself. So I'm not going to give you all the answers and tell you what to do, but I am going to help you along your journey. So that's what a session looks like for me. Now, my goal today was to come on here. I had the presentation all mapped out, and then very recently, I lost a leader in my life. So, that led me, of course, to reflecting, and, this was somebody that saw the good in everybody. So it's ironic, the timing that happened, because it's led me to reflect and realize that life is too short. I've really just done some reflecting and realizing that he would have said it could have been worse. So, it can always be worse is what his message would be if he was standing here beside me today. And he's right. So in the midst of the storm, it's sometimes hard to see the sun, but we have to remember that it could always be worse. So that should help us to move forward. And I know that would be his advice if he was standing here today. So my goal on your journey is always to be open just to helping you, being open to what Spirit has to say, working with Spirit to help you accomplish your goals. So Spirit always gives us exactly the information that we need when we need it. And I believe that we are all intuitive. We are all gifted in the fact that we can pick up on signs and symbols. We can pick up on things that are happening around us. Maybe that bird sitting there looking at us through the window is just a bird. Or maybe it's a sign for something else. So the more you pay attention, the more you're going to get out of life and get out of those situations. So if we're open to it, Spirit send us lots of signs and symbols and everything to get our attention, to let us know that they're there supporting us. So whether it's our loved ones or spirit guides, even pets can send us signs and symbols. So really, really cool. So also, on top of listening to me babble on about my opinion, we are also going to do a couple of exercises. So one exercise we're going to do is going to help us really zap anxiety quickly. And the other one is just going to be a fun, intuitive exercise that's going to test your intuition. So really, really fun stuff. So over the past few weeks, I, just like most of you, have witnessed significant changes in our world. Take in consideration, I've thought about all the people in isolation due to illnesses, all of the people in isolation just because of precautionary. So maybe they're not sick, but they have to be cautious. People dealing with layoffs, businesses closing or having to dramatically change the way that they do things. There's crazy things happening in our world. People are sick, people are dying, and we are trying to adjust to that. So there's crazy levels of anxiety and fear that's happening around all of these things. So people are just trying to scramble right now to plan for their families, plan for themselves. What's my future look like? But I'll tell you what else I've noticed. I've noticed the enormous amount of people that have opened their hearts and that have stepped up to support one another. Despite social, distancing measures, that doesn't matter. People are supporting each other right now, and people are being kind and generous. We've not seen this type of social connection in this lifetime. It's almost as if social distancing has led us to be closer together in some aspects, isn't it? So social media is playing an outstanding part about trying to keep people together, keeping people connected at a time of physical disconnect. So I, for one, use social media to engage in helpful, supportive, productive publications, and of course, entertainment. So many artists are hosting online concerts, influential figures are hosting workshops, informational sessions. Schools are allowing kids to do programs online. There's online learning that's happening. Colleges are doing things online. Schools, so at a grade school level. However, all these good things that happen, I am one person to scroll right past the negativity, the blaming, the yucky stuff. I'm scrolling right past it. And that's a conscious decision that I make, because I don't want these things to be pulling my day down. Anything that's going to dampen my mood or lower my vibration, I want nothing to do with it. It has no space in my life right now. So it's important, though, to keep our thoughts and our vibration high, our thoughts positive, everything in a good place. That is going to take us farther than anything else. I feel like if we're in a good place, positively speaking, it's going to help us to get a better immune system, and that we're not going to get sick as easily as we would if we were a low vibration, okay? So there's many things that we can do to stay in a good place throughout this whole ordeal. At the end of this video, I'm going to ask you to choose one of these animals. So there's the bear, the bull, the elephant, and the owl. I'm going to ask you to choose one of those, not right now, but at the end of the video. And what we're going to do is we're going to figure out what theme these animals outline based on your intuitive pick and connection to that animal at this time. So something fun. Before we get into that, though, let's talk about what we can do on a daily basis to get through some of these challenging times productively and positively. And let's even cover some don'ts as we go through this, because as much as it's important to do the right things, it's also important to not do the things that are going to affect us and harm us. So first, let's zap anxiety and scatteredness and get grounded. So lots of times when we get grounded, it really helps us to stay in the moment. It helps us to stay focused. If we're in the moment, we're not worrying about yesterday, we're not worrying about tomorrow, we're just in that moment. So these are things that you can do if you're on a city bus, if you're at work, If you're in a meeting that's making you nervous, maybe you're at a job interview, maybe you are writing a test. So whatever those things are, this is easy. You don't need any special tools. You don't need any props. All you need is your breath and a couple minutes. So, plant your feet firmly on the floor. We'll just try it right now. We might as well. Plant your feet firmly on the floor. Take a deep breath in through your nose to the count of 4. Hold that for 2, and then put your tongue on the roof of your mouth as you blow out through your mouth to the count of 6. So let's do it again. And then one more time. See how much quieter everything feels? So you can do that as often as you like. You can do it, as long as you like. If you want to do it for, 6 sets and that makes you feel better, that's great. If you need 10, then do 10. Whatever it is that makes you feel better. But a really simple tool that you can carry around with you that you don't need any props. You can just do it wherever you are. And it works like a charm. So now we're going to talk about, being in the moment. So what does that look like? If you are in the present moment, you're not worried about yesterday and you're not worried about tomorrow. So if you're sad, you're living in the past. So take note of how you're feeling. Depression, sadness, all of those things, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, you're living in the future, worrying about tomorrow, worrying about what's happening, what's for dinner, whatever you're thinking about. So, that it's really important to practice getting into that moment. So once you get into that moment, it's easy to maintain it. It's easy to get there quickly once you're used to doing it also. So it gets easier and easier, and it really is a habit that you form. So, some of the things that you can do to keep you empowered. First, get up right now, go and open your curtains. If it's nice enough outside, it is not at my house today, but if it is nice enough outside, open your windows, let the fresh air in, let the light in. Oh my gosh, this is huge. You need light. You need sunshine. So do that. Smudge your space regularly. I have my little smudgy bowl, and I do have an abalone shell, but I use a little bowl that I have because I do like the way that it works for me, and it fits nice in my hand. And but yeah, smudge your space. Make sure your space is clean, so no clutter. Things cluttered around allows room for negative energy just to kind of sit, or stagnant energy just to sit. So keep that energy moving and fresh, and make sure your curtains are open. So the first thing in the morning when you wake up, very first decision that you make, and it is a choice, is, am I going to be the victim or am I going to be a leader today? So, seems simple, but based on everything that's going on, it's really important to be in the right frame of mind. So a victim is somebody who thinks that everything happens to them. They focus on the problems and how everything impacts them in a bad way. They focus on how they're helpless, and there's absolutely nothing that they can do to get around this. They do a lot of finger pointing and a lot of blaming. So we all know who the victims are in our life, the people that are poor me, drama queens. There's always something going on with them. Everybody's got them in our lives. So, and sometimes it's a place that if we're feeling down, that is easy for people to go into that space also. So If you're a leader, your qualities are somebody who grabs life by the horns. You create your own luck. You take the necessary actions to succeed at your goals. If you come across a roadblock, so what? You just find a different way. You don't wallow in what it is that's not going right for you. Your goal is what's in your mind, and you're not worried about what's stopping you or what anybody else is doing, okay? So if you're a leader and you come across fear or roadblock or things that are not quite going right, you're going to look at those things in the face and you're going to say, try me. So, which role are you going to assume when you wake up in the morning? Be accountable for your own happiness. You are the only one that's accountable for your own happiness. People forget this. Some people will wait for somebody to make them happy or make them feel good. No, you know what? Why? You can be responsible for your own happiness. Why wait for someone else to make the first move? Why wait for someone to make you feel good? Why don't you do it for yourself and, make your own self feel worthy? So take responsibility for your happiness starting right now. Okay? So do things that feed your soul, things that feed your spirit, things that really make you happy, and things that make you feel good. Take the lead. When it comes to your happiness, take the lead. Don't wait for somebody else to do something to make you feel good or give you a pat on the back. Do it yourself. Why not? When you love yourself, it's so much easier for everybody else to follow because you're already doing it. So you are leading by example. Don't wallow in sadness or what ifs. The past is in the past. Leave it there. It's fine. It's done. So starting today, what's your next step? Keep your thoughts and your actions productive. Seems simple enough, right? Instead of worrying, what are productive things that you can think of? Instead of thinking about what you can't do or what your restrictions are, what can you do? So that's another most important question for you is, what can I do? Nothing is an acceptable answer. Unless you're a teenager who's trying to get out of chores, then maybe nothing is a good answer. But seriously though, what can I do? That's huge. That empowers you to step into some action instead of worry and wonder and upset and anxiety and fear and all of those lower energy things. What can I do? Have a backup plan, right? So, options alleviate pressure. So if you have a backup plan, and I do this, I like to have a backup plan. No matter what I'm doing, I like to have a backup plan. Set it and forget it though. So create your backup plan so that it's there, you can tap into it anytime you want to, but set it and forget it. We don't want to focus on the backup plan because what we put our mind and what we put our thoughts and energy into is what we're going to manifest, right? So set it and forget it, make a backup plan. It's there if you need it, but don't focus on it. Focus on plan A. Okay? So have clear intentions. Clear, productive goals moving forward. Stop comparing yourself to others. That's a huge thing. Your growth and your lesson and your life path is not the same as anyone else's. So why would you compare yourself to anyone else? You're just you. So if you're struggling or you're feeling a little bit anxious or overwhelmed or anything along those lines, try to get a different perspective. getting a different viewpoint is really going to help you. You can broaden your view. You can try to see things from somebody else's perspective. Whatever that looks like for you, try to change your viewpoint, because if you pivot your view just a little bit, it could change your entire world. So, imagine that you have a situation that you're dealing with. How can you make things different going forward? That's productive. What can I do to make things different going forward? Maybe this situation is happening because it's telling you that you should be doing something else. So maybe this is life's natural way of telling you, hey, time out, time to change tracks. Okay? Maybe it's leading you to meet somebody else who you've created a stronger bond with in the future. So, have you ever recognized a situation where you look at somebody and say, you know what, if it hadn't have been for that car accident, if it hadn't have been for that job interview that didn't work out, if it hadn't have been for that speeding ticket that I got, I never would have met you, or I never would have been here, or I never would have been able to do these things. So things happen for a reason. So being able to trust that is huge. Maybe, just maybe, this situation that you're dealing with right now is giving you greater insight or spiritual growth. Or maybe it's leading to something bigger, something much bigger, like something that's going to change your life completely, or something that's going to change our planet even. So this whole ordeal that we're dealing with right now as a planet, not as a town, as a city, as a province, as a country, but as an entire planet, this whole situation that we are dealing with, what's the bigger perspective? This is probably going to lead to changes that are worldwide. We don't know what that's going to look like yet, but I bet you it's going to lead us to do things in a more advanced way. So, let go of your expectations of normal. What is your new normal for now? We have to get used to not doing things in our usual way and be okay with that. And we have to remember that these things that are changing and these things that we're doing differently are maybe only temporary. Maybe they're not. But as we adjust to situations, we're going to realize that temporary or not, I'm still doing okay. Again, live in this moment. That makes all the difference. We're not worried about tomorrow. We're not worried about what's going to happen next week. We are worrying about right now. So, going with the flow, living in non-resistance. Holy, that is huge. Because if you're in resistance, everything seems harder. Every time you do something, you're going to feel grumpy. You're going to feel stressed out. You're going to feel like, I can't take it anymore. Right? So, go with the flow. It makes things a lot easier. The more flexible you can be, trust the universe, let go and let God. I'm sure a lot of you have heard, but that's really going to make a huge difference. Makes you feel less stressed, less anxious. Get in your space. So this is not meaning, when I say go with the flow, this does not mean give up altogether. It just means be flexible. So if things are happening in your life that you're not expecting them to happen this way, be flexible. Okay? Just do whatever it is that you've got to do. And don't make it feel like a job. Just kind of go with the flow. It really helps. Try it for a week. Try it for a week. I promise you will not go back. So, looking at your surroundings while you're carrying out your actions and your goals. surroundings are okay. Surroundings are fine, but sometimes we judge our ability to cope by our surroundings. That's not always the case. It all begins right here. So, judging by the way you feel, the way you handle things, the way you are, makes a difference, not what's around you or the people that are around you. So you want to get in with like-minded people. Make sure that you're surrounded by people who have the same kind of outlook as you. If you're trying to boost your vibe and be happy and be great and trying to do your best, and you are surrounded by people that are miserable, that is not putting yourself in a very good space. And the chances of you becoming like that are greater. So be with people that boost your vibration and boost your spirit. So some things that you can do. You can call a friend. You can join online platforms such as this one, that you can get with like-minded individuals. You can share creative ideas. You can start a group. So maybe there's not a group that's addressing all of your needs. Start a group. Invite people. Make it happen. Maybe this group has places where people can take turns every day posting jokes, posting motivational sayings, things like that. Join or watch, host or join watch parties. So you'll see all the time now, that's the new latest and greatest thing on Facebook, is your friend is hosting a watch party and you can join with them. So, there's videos, there's conferences, there's hobby groups, there's educational events. All of these things can be accessed online right now more than ever before. So many groups offer online access. So you can shop, you can go to school, you can do workouts in your living room. Even local churches are holding services online. So there's so many options right now compared to even 2 months ago. Okay, so take advantage of those. A lot of these things are free also. So really, how can you go wrong? The other key thing is don't ignore the situation and don't live in denial. So, do get educated with the facts. So ignoring that we have a worldwide problem right now is not going to change it. It's not going to do anything. All it's going to do is keep you in the dark. So you might as well get educated with the facts. Help you stay connected, right? So make sure that you're connected with people. Make sure that you know what's going on. You don't want to overindulge in social media and all the fear stuff. Right? Remember, I just scroll right past all that bad stuff. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to hear somebody bitching about how bad life is. How can we get past it? Okay? So staying out of drama, staying out of fear, staying out of the victim mentality, remember that you're not alone and you're not the only person going through this situation or the only person that's ever gone through this situation. So that really helps when I feel like I am, having a hard day and I'm having a hard time moving past something. I stop, and one of the first things I say to myself is, I am not the first person who's gone through this. I am not the only person who's going through this. And it makes a huge difference in my perspective. Hi, Christine. So the other thing, you want to do things that are going to lift your spirit. Meditate, sing, dance around your living room, whatever. Read, paint, sew, color, bake, journal, study, research, do yoga, get outside, walk the dog. Whatever it is, do something. A lot of these things you probably didn't have time to do a month ago. Well, now that you have time, why don't you crack that book open that you've not even looked at since you bought it, right? Stop thinking of this as a jail sentence. Get productive. Have gratitude for what you have, for who you are, who is in your life. Gratitude. So don't take things so personally. This is not permanent, probably. In this case, this whole world ordeal that we're all dealing with is definitely not permanent. We're going to get around it. We're going to get through it. It takes time. So this too shall pass. Do things at home that you would normally go out to do. Why not? Have a spa day, family foot soak, a bubble bath, manicures, pedicures, makeovers, have a fashion show, have a movie night, a game night, a themed meal night. Why not? Invite your neighbors by video. Wouldn't it be fun to have a Mexican themed dinner that you share with 3 different families? You can all have a Mexican meal night. Wouldn't that be fun? Why not? So, one of the biggest challenges in this go, go, go society is that we don't know how to slow down. We have to teach ourselves how to do that. We go, 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 and we don't know how to stop. We don't know how to stop. So sometimes we feel like we need to be busy. So feeling the need to be busy, and this is a quote that I found, feeling the need to be busy all the time is a trauma response and a fear-based distraction from what you'd be forced to acknowledge and feel if you slowed down. Makes sense, right? If we're distracted, we're not dealing with all this other stuff that's happening over here. So we really want to train our brains to be more positive. So if there's a negative thought that creeps in, let's train ourselves to counteract that with 2 positive thoughts or 3 positive thoughts. So if you say something bad about yourself, now new rule, you have to say 2 good things about yourself. Eventually you're going to stop thinking those negative thoughts, because let me tell you, it gets hard to think of all the good stuff to counteract the bad stuff. Again, try it for a week. So another thing that's really helpful is Reiki healing. So Reiki healing, if you haven't heard of it, is really awesome for pain, anxiety, clearing your mind. Now, I am doing on my page, Crystal Gwen Spiritual Medium, all one word, my Facebook page. I'm doing free healings every Saturday morning until further notice. So why not? I'm part of a group. There's at least 3 or 4 of us that usually jump in and do it and that are dedicated to doing it. Takes 15 to 30 minutes. So all you have to do is sit back, relax, maybe turn on some relaxing music. Sit back, relax, and let the Reiki energy do the rest. So to get in on those, just go to my page, click on the link, click on going. Now, you have to sign up every week. So if you want to do like this Saturday, you have to sign up for that one. But if you want to do next Saturday, you also have to sign up for that one. So clicking on one event doesn't automatically get you in on all the events. So they're all free, no strings attached. Just jump in and do it. It's kind of our way of giving back. So we're not expecting anything out of it. If you know somebody who could use some healing, some peace, and some relaxation in their life, share it with them. It's a fantastic way. Some people will say, you know what, I don't get up out of bed until I get this Reiki healing done. So however you want to work it into your life, if you do go to the grocery store and you're shopping away while you're getting this Reiki healing done, it's still going to work. You maybe won't feel the effects as much as if you just sit down and relax, but it'll still work. So yeah, jump over to my page, sign up for that, and it's free, so why not? Give it a shot, see if it helps you. Group healing is a little bit different than one-on-one healing, so we can do it distant. So for those of you that don't know a lot about Reiki, we can do it distant. So I'm at my house, you're at your house, and it's the energy that comes in to your energy field that helps you. So that's kind of how it works. There's not really any definite explanation, but that is how it works. It's just all energy. Okay? So even though in this world right now, it may feel like our world is in a tailspin, there are some good qualities that are being demonstrated because of this pandemic. So what role are you going to play is one of the major things. Are you going to be the victim that is participating in the pity party? Poor me, things are always bad for me. Are you going to do that? Or are you going to be the leader that lifts others up and carries yourself through this whole thing? And as the leader that I just lost in my life, he would say, get up there. It's not that big of a deal. It could be worse. So, let's put your intuition to the test. Let's see what's happening. Well, so what I'd like you to do is take a deep breath. And just, you can close your eyes if you want to, if that helps you. There are great things happening, Christine. And, I always feel like there's always a storm and then the calm comes in, So sometimes these major events need to happen spiritually so that we can change. Sometimes bad things happen for a reason, because we're not meant to go down that path anymore. So when we have something like this, that the world is like, stop, we are on hold, when we pick up tomorrow, we're going to have a different appreciation of things, aren't we? So let's see which animal you connect with. So if you choose, and you're going to be drawn to an animal out of all these four. So you're going to be drawn to an animal that you feel like, hey, that's the one I want to pick. Or the crying dog that is here. The joys of live videos, of course. So you're going to be drawn to an animal, and you're either going to be drawn to this animal because you feel connected to it, and your ideas are the same as what this animal represents, or you're going to be drawn to it because you're kind of out of balance in those areas in your life, and that's where you need to work. So see how it sits with you. So you're either going to choose the bear, the bull, the elephant, or the owl. So just close your eyes, take a deep breath, see which one resonates to you. Maybe it's not your favorite animal that you like to go and sightsee, or, that you like to see in nature, but which one do you feel drawn to and connected to? If you take a deep breath, what is the first one of those that pop into your mind? Bear, bull, elephant, or owl? So, if you chose bear, there's actually two on here, but Regardless, that's all I had for a bear. So if you chose bear, this means that you're a natural. If there's two, Christine, try to narrow it down to one, or the first one and then the second one. I know sometimes when I do my card pulls, some people will pick two and they fit together really nicely. It could be the same situation, but try to get one. If you've got two, you've got two. Makes things that much more complicated, doesn't it? So if you chose the bear, this means that you're a natural leader. You are also a teacher oftentimes, so whether it is formally or informally, you are teaching people things. It could be children, it could be friends, co-workers, whatever that is. Bear represents confidence and strength. So you're likely using strength and confidence to get through any situation that is challenging for you. Intellectually thinking and protective. So you are a thinker. So the wheels are always turning in your mind. You've got things going on in your mind all the time. Busy, busy, busy. But you're also protective about everyone around you. So your friends, your family, those that you care about, you are protective. So if you think about a mother bear in nature, what do you think about? You think about the mother bear is going to protect her cubs. So a lot of that energy. So this right here is going to represent, in this case, throat chakra balance. So you need to make sure that your throat chakra is balanced. You're saying what you need to say when you need to say it, and you're not saying things when you maybe shouldn't be saying them, if that makes sense. Sometimes, because this is red, this could mean that you maybe can't find the words to say, or are having trouble speaking about what it is that you want to talk about. Okay? Red flag. It could also mean be careful what you say. You don't want to speak before you think. So if you chose the bear, that means that you're often the strong one. You are often the one that people come and talk to and ask for advice. So you're the one who has all the answers, is what everyone thinks, right? So you want to make sure that you are following your own intuition, but also taking care of yourself. So you want to make sure that you're not giving to everyone else when you don't have time to recharge yourself. So sometimes you want to get less grounded for a day. So bears generally are very grounded, very centered, very focused on the moment. So sometimes you need to lighten that up a little bit. You want to dance around the living room, you want to sing, you want to do things that are maybe childlike, to be maybe a little less grounded for a day. Okay? Now, contrary to the usual bear meaning, if you chose this one because of the way that these two bears are interacting, you may need a social connection right now. You may be craving the need for social interaction or some playtime. Maybe you're just itching for spring to come. Okay, so that's just because there's two. So otherwise, bears like to hibernate. Bears need to rest. Bears need to have those special timeouts where they can recharge, right? Okay, so that's the bear. If you chose the bull, little guy here. So if you chose the bull, he's kind of cool. He's kind of a cool little guy. If you chose the bull, this means you are a strong leader. You like to lead by example. You are hardworking and dedicated, and you're true to your word. So if you say you're going to do something, you do it no matter what. So you've probably got some stubbornness in you that gives you some good dedication, good ability to see things through if you're stubborn, right? So you've got a long fuse if you're a bull, But once somebody is dishonest to you or betrays you, if you've chosen this bull, then you're hurt. And when you get hurt, you get mad. So, but you do have a long fuse. So if you chose this, you're likely very gentle in nature. You also have a balance between intuition and reason. So, you don't always count on reason, and you don't always count on intuition, but you've got that nice balance where they can really complement each other. Okay? You like to be appreciated for what you do. So any efforts that you put in, you do like to be appreciated for those things. You are generous, and you like to help people grow. So you like to grow with hard work, and you like to show people how to do that also. So you're a loyal friend. You can also represent, this bull can also represent abundance and self-stability. So you are, if you chose this bull, you're self-sufficient. Sometimes that can be not great if you have a hard time asking for help. Sometimes we have a hard time asking for help. So if you chose this one, you may have an eye for art. You may like color. You may like variety in your life. You don't even care, if the colors match. You like things to be colorful and bright and uplifting. Now, a small percentage of you that chose this may like to live in luxury and glamour, but most of you that are drawn to this are just going to like some good old-fashioned, down-to-earth, visiting, interactions, sharing recipes, sharing campfires, board games, all of those memories that you talk about in the past. So really awesome if you chose the bull. What do you think so far? Is this fun? I think this is fun, but this is what I do. So loving it. So if you choose the elephant, these animals are not to scale, guys, in case you didn't notice. So if you chose the elephant, a little bit of a reflection. There we go. If you chose the elephant, you are a compassionate leader. You like to work alongside others and not dictate what's going to happen or watch everybody else do the work. You are one to roll up your sleeves and work beside someone. You use more of a technique about coaching as opposed to telling or barking at somebody. So encouraging and motivating by showing people things. When I see an elephant, I see really soft, loving, caring, mother-like energy. So if you chose this one, it's likely that you like to use the experiences from your own past to build on your future. So using the things that you've learned in your tool belt to take you forward, and also like to use those stories and those lessons that you've already learned to help teach people things that come into your life now. So when you're teaching, you'll often use examples of, so when I was a little girl, this is what happened to me. So really awesome to remember those stories too. So ancestors and your lineage and your heritage and family history are often important to you if you chose this elephant also. You're really intuitive if you chose this elephant also, really intuitive. You're often searching for the deeper meaning of things, wanting to know the whys and the hows and the whatever's happening. You are a loyal friend, and you love with your whole heart if you chose this elephant. You don't like to spend time alone, though, a whole bunch. So I'm not saying you don't like your time out, but if you chose the elephant, you like to spend time with people, more so than you like to be alone. So if you're away from that herd, especially right now during all this social distancing, if you are alone, that's going to be tough on you right now. You like to be able to interact with people. Okay? So, if you chose the owl, this is a cool one. They're all cool. Who am I kidding? So if you chose the owl, you have the ability to see the bigger picture, the more broad perspective. You have the ability also to zero in on the fine details. Okay, so you can zoom in on those details. You can zoom out to see the broader picture. So this gives you a really cool perspective because you can see things from different perspectives and different angles and all sorts of different ways and how could this turn out? How could this turn out? You can kind of gauge what's going to happen easily. So if you chose the owl, you are good at uncovering the truths in the situation, okay? You can see through illusions. You can see through people's masks that they're trying to hide things. You can uncover secrets. So if you are in a deceitful relationship or a relationship where someone's not telling you everything right now, I'm going to say we're likely drawn to the owl because of these qualities that this owl is going to help you to do and help you to see through. So I've been in situations in my life where I'm trying to figure out the truth and I'm trying to see what's happening and what's going on and what's this person trying to hide. That's a time in my life where I would have been drawn to the owl to help me see those situations, but without knowing that that's why I was attracted to the owl. So the owl also is very intuitive. So if you chose this owl, you need to trust your own intuition and pay attention to your intuition. So gathering and organizing your thoughts before you speak are important. So if you chose this one, make sure that you don't have to premeditate everything, but make sure that you are considering the thoughts that are coming out of your mouth before you say them. Because sometimes you don't want people to know what it is that you're trying to uncover or what it is that you're trying to see or what it is that you want people to not be hiding anymore, okay? So sometimes you just really want to take really careful consideration about what it is that you're saying. You want to consider that the owl is actually pointing things out to you. So because the owl is flying way up high and can really see things from a different perspective, you want to respect that the owl can show you whatever it is that he needs to show you. So even if there's some uncomfortable truths this owl needs to show you, trust that he's showing you all of these things that need to be released in order for you to move forward, if that makes sense. So uncomfortable or not, there are things that you need to see so that you can choose how you're going to move forward. Okay? If you chose the owl, you are often and most likely searching for some deeper truth or deeper purpose within yourself. So that's pretty deep. But if you're doing some soul searching or some intuition building or things like that, this is probably why you chose this guy too. So if you're feeling overwhelmed and you chose this owl, you're feeling overwhelmed, take a deep breath. Zoom out, try to see the big picture, and then you can zero in on the details again, and that's going to help you to get a different perspective. So really cool. So, did the animal that you chose reflect your current situation or reflect the shadows of what it is that you should be working on right now? None of these animals, if you noticed, carry victim qualities. So all of these animals have leadership traits. So you're a leader. You know, these represent individuality, leadership. Intuition is huge on all of these ones. So really trusting yourself and being the leader in your own life. Okay? So it's your time to shine, guys. It's your time. That's it. So head over to my Facebook page too. So that was fun. Any feedback if you want to give, that's fine. If you prefer to keep it to yourself, that's fine too. But head over to my Facebook page, give it a like. Look in under the services, because I've got everything kind of listed under the services. I've got the events listed, like the free Reiki event that you can attend is listed in there. Remember, for the Reiki, you've got to click on going for each week. So every week that you want to participate is a new event that you've got to click on. So other upcoming events are going to be on there. I do card pulls every couple weeks where I'll choose some cards, and you can jump on and see what card you pick, test your own intuition, kind of like what we did today, but we use cards usually. Yeah, if you have any questions, reach out to me. Doing fun things like boosting your intuition, challenging your confidence, are all going to help you boost your vibration. So meditation is key, and getting your vibration up there is really going to help you out. So pop over the page. Thank you for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful, positive, and productive afternoon. Thanks, guys. Bye for now.